I'm BDLM coming to you with my buddy J4Y, bringing you episode 11 breakdown to get a twofer tonight. Oh, so excited. Last game, not so competitive. This game, hopefully a little bit more. So we'll have to see. Three of our friends stuck around, so we decided to do yet another breakdown of them, see how they do now not running as a team of 5.
I was going to say, see, as a team of 5, they're like Super Saiyans. Like, if they entered any kind of tournament, they'd win easily. But that's not fair, and they don't want to take everyone's money. So instead, now that there's 3 of them, they're probably going to get pub stomped here. And that's, you know, I'm not saying I'm looking forward to that.
I'm sure you're not.
I'm hoping for a close competitive game. That's what I really want to see. So it'll be interesting to see who they pick, and there's a Weaver already. Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's on the enemy team.
Yes, it is.
And then a Leshrac. There you go. Very interesting.
We should say their names too, just so people are aware of how awesome some of these names are.
Okay,
Winkers on the Leshrac, slip through. Okay, that's kind of boring.
That's kind of cool though with the Weaver, because
you know, it does kind of mess.
It goes together, you know. Okay. I like it. Leshrac, actually both these heroes, Weaver not so much recently, but being picked up. So we'll have to see, you know, some of the big things that we look for when we try to compare it to the competitive scene. You know, like do Leshracs pick up their ulti levels 6? Because the competitive view, he really doesn't have the mana to really sustain it, so why pick up the ultimate? And then, of course, Weaver picking up the Swarm, really a good amount of damage, and then, of course, the armor reduction. Yeah. Really a good way to get himself some kills, as well as make it easier for, you know, other heroes to try and pick up kills as well. Chen picked up as well, so pretty solid team coming out from the Radiant so far. Lich now picked up for the Dire. Kind of interesting to see that picked up after Chen. You know, those Chen creeps could get in the way and catch a lot of those Lich bounces. We'll have to see how that affects the game as we go through it.
Yeah, Lich has also kind of fallen off the radar. He used to be super popular back when it was back in the Dota International scene, at least. But recently, I guess the way it works, people realize we actually don't want to sacrifice our own creeps because that just lets you push even harder on us. So maybe that has something to do with it. But either way, he's really strong for the lane phase. I think if you want absolute control over your lane, Invoker finally. Actually, I'm glad to see him. You know, we actually talked about him so much, but haven't really seen him a lot. So it'll be cool to see how this person decides to run him and go with him. You know.
Speaking of heroes we haven't seen in a while, Doombringer, yes! Yeah. Very excited to see him. It's been a long time since we've gotten to watch Mr. Doombringer. Also a hero that's picked up in the International and sort of has fallen off. Looks like Terps is going to pick up an anti-mage, run with the Lich combo, because why not? I mean, can we think of more broken lanes? Let's be honest.
Actually, Weaver appears to have been a random pick because of his items. So, nice random, I guess.
Yeah, he's actually looking to go for Ring of Aquila right off the bat. Really interesting to see there. Looks like our Mr. Seof has picked up the Witch Doctor. Very nice hero. Not a ton of synergy, perhaps, with the other heroes, but, of course, his stun is always nice. The ultimate, very powerful. And Obsidian Destroyer picked up by Bonk. So, interesting note, you know, Terps and Bonk are brothers, and so one brother paid him last game, and now we get to see Destroyer played by the other brother in the side lane instead of as a middle hero.
I really hope Orange is in this game. Because
you really hope Orange is in
there's only 4v5 right now.
Oh, yeah. That would be rather unfortunate.
That would make this a really bad episode. Because if they can't win, well, it could be close. I'm not sure how they're going to play it, but, you know.
That's unfortunate.
It really is. You know.
Interestingly enough, though, we get to see Doombringer go mid against Invoker, which, of course, probably haven't got to see too much, as Doombringer hasn't been picked in ever. And then, of course, Invoker pretty new, so I have to see how he actually fares against Invoker in this middle lane. Pretty interesting to see how that works.
He'll easily be able to hold his own. I think it's just going to be a farm sustain. Like, either both sides are not really going to hurt the other enough to really do anything. So Doombringer is just so tanky, and if he gets that Scorched Earth to get, you know, that huge, I think it's, like at the first rank it's 12 health regen while it's on. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous how much he can sustain himself. Actually, you see Witch Doctor taking a good amount of damage already in this bottom lane just from the Weaver harassing alone. But then again, and I've actually already said this in probably one of my rages or whatever we called them. Wish Doctor's stupid base damage being 60 with like 4 iron branches. Okay, sure, buddy.
Yeah, he has the highest damage attack in the game, base, I do believe.
Yeah.
Unless the hero was added later without... You know, he still don't have a... Well, of course. Techies has the greatest of everything, because he's just that good of a hero.
More strike gain than your favorite hero. Anyways.
Oh, poor Io. But yeah, you know, Weaver already has enough mana to finish off that Ring of Aquila. He's going to be able to keep up the mana regeneration to be able to shaboopy, as I like to call it, as much as he so pleases, use that to both score himself some creep kills, as well as apply some more harass.
Actually, you see, Orange did join the game.
Hey.
His name was G2G House on Fire, so that was actually pretty appropriate, I think. But I guess his house has cooled off. You know, he's ready to go, or maybe it's still on fire, and he's just playing through it like a champ. So
it relit on fire, unfortunately. So
I hate that.
Yeah, doing some wandering. It's okay, he'll get there. We believe in him. Anyway, join this top lane. I'm sure this Leshrac has been doing, you know, okay being a Leshrac. He can fare pretty well on his own as a solo, but you have to imagine, and looking at Terp's gold, yes, he's doing pretty well up here. He's going to be able to pick up that Ring of Regeneration pretty soon, and after that, it's going to be really hard to try and push him out of the lane.
Yeah, actually, Leshrac and the Antimage have almost identical farms, so he's done really well for himself 1v2. That's actually pretty surprising to me. I think he might have randomed himself just because of his starting items, but I'm not 100% on that. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a lot of harassment coming out on both ends. I mean, it's just a solo Weaver. He did actually finish that Ring of Aquila now, so he's got that nice base stats. He's got some good damage coming out, but he has to be careful. If he gets caught with a cask, they can punish him for it pretty severely.
Yeah, definitely. If he can get caught out like that, they can certainly do a lot of damage between the two of them. Weaver not putting points into the swarm. Oh, there we go. Trying to cask, but the Shaboopy stops it. He runs away.
Drunk.
Invisible. That's all I like to call it.
Is that the Spanish term for it?
Yeah. Oh man, my Spanish exam not so hot today. I gotta share. I gotta inform everyone. But
Do you?
yeah. I mean everybody was wondering. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Now it looks like Bye Pudge managed to hit a creep directly in front of him, so did not catch any of the heroes out here in this top lane. Looking at the gold graph, wow, like dead even. Yep, 4,300 to 4,300. If that isn't interesting, wow. And look how far it went down for the Dire, then back up 3, and now evening out at 0. Still no kills yet. 5 minutes into the game. Yeah, you know, this middle lane, there certainly aren't going to be any kills here, I would imagine. And Doomringer is going to be able to do exactly what he wants to do, and that is devour creeps and get a gold advantage here. He's already sitting on 1,600 gold, so we'll have to see if he looks to go for an early Radiance or what. Chen, looking around, he has 900 gold. No big items to speak of yet. We'll have to see if he looks to put some pressure down here on this bottom lane. Looks like he does want to go in. The Thunderclap from the Ursa Warrior, a lot of damage. Will he be able to do anything? He looks to come over and try and line it up. Will he be able to? The cask stops the Ursa Warrior from thunderclapping. Not applying the movement speed slow, so they're going to be able to get out just fine. And there you go. Dem bounces, just in case you missed it.
Bounces. Oh gosh, do I want to rage right now. But it's okay because I'm not in this game, so I don't have to be anything I have to be upset about. Just a passive neutral spectator, that's all I am. Another thing interesting to note, first of all, look how many wards are out here from the Radiant, and look how there's been 2 sentry wards used to attempt to find that one ward, that sneaky little ward that's stopping that spawn, and he still didn't find it.
Well, yeah, there were 2 dire wards down there, actually, a little bit earlier, I do believe.
Oh, were there?
Yeah, a ton of wards around the map. Really good to see that, you know, both teams are really trying to keep tabs on their opponents. We can actually see that the Radiant could see a double damage rune up here in the top. Looks like some harassment being done on the Doombringer, but like you said, he's just so tanky. He has now a Ring of Health. He's going to be able to just sit here and do fine. We'll have to see if Invoker looks to maybe pick up a bottle. I doubt it at this point. We'll have to see if he looks to go top, pick up that double damage, and maybe try and put some harassment up on this top lane.
Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate, though, here in this bottom lane with Weaver. Just doing his harassment seems really strong. If I was Outward Destroyer, though, I don't know. Would you rather max that aura to try to help you guys out in the lane, or would you try to get the imprisonment so that Weaver is running literally on like no mana? Because I think I'd rather have the imprisonment to drain his mana so he can't keep casting that spell.
Yeah, that's very true. I think you're right there. That might be a good way to go about it. I mean, is that harassment worth it? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I didn't think so last game, and it did just fine. So, you know what? We'll just have to see how that winds up affecting the game and how much farm this Weaver is actually going to be able to get.
Yeah, and actually, here's exactly I think how we were talking about with the fact that Lich isn't picked up anymore. Since he's been denying creeps and keeping the lane pushed near their tower, Leshrack's taking full advantage of that. I mean, he's been maxing out this Diabolic Edict, and just when it gets close to that tower, he puts it on. Look how hurt that tower is already. It's 7.5 minutes in. It's because Lich is keeping the lane around the tower. So not necessarily always working out in your favor.
Definitely. The other thing note about this top lane here is actually looks like Anti-Mage looked to pick up boots instead of getting the Ring of Health. It looks like Derps actually gets stunned. Will he get hooked? No, the hook was a little off, and Anti-Mage also blinked away. Yeah, he's having to sit a little bit far back because he can't take the hits from Leshrack, who has that early level advantage. So, maybe a misstep there, picking up the boots of speed instead of grabbing the Ring of Health.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that works out. He could easily go pick it up if he so desired, but I guess, another good attempt on that hook there. If he caught Lich with that, Lich would have very low chances of surviving that gank, but still 0-0, 8.5 minutes in this game. We know middle lane's not going to be where it happens, so it's interesting to see, is bottom going to receive a gank, or actually it looks like top here, Invoker's going to try to set something up.
Yeah, there is a ward though, so they are aware that this is going to happen, but the tower's so low at this point, you might just expect Invoker to waltz out into the lane and just help push the lane with Leshrack. I mean, they might as well. It's so close to deny range, they should really just try and nail the coffin. He really wants to use this double damage rune, though. Leshrack will destroy a tower, and now they look to go in. There goes the Cold Snap onto Terps. Will it be enough damage? He's taking quite a bit from the auto attacks and the damage. Will he get caught up by the tornado? Yes, he will, and then he will fall. First blood goes to Invoker. So unfortunate there for the Dire. It looks like Outworld Destroyer will also fall in the bottom lane to the delicious stun of the Centaur Khan. Why it's delicious, I'm not sure. They look to turn this around, though, on the Chen, trying to do whatever he can, but this Witch Doctor is putting himself in a position to feed Weaver further, now sitting on his Ring of Health, and having the money to pick up boots if he so chooses.
Yeah, and he's going to most likely look to go straight for that Hood of Defiance, especially in this bottom lane he's dealing with an Outworld Destroyer and Witch Doctor, just pure magic damage for, I guess, pure damage too, now that I think about it. Alright, so the Hood won't help him so much against Destroyer. Now that, how many times have we talked about this guy? I'll learn it one day. Still, though, it'll be definitely a useful item. There's no denying that. Against the Lich Ult, Destroyer, Destroyer Ultimate, that does magic damage. Witch Doctor with his Maledict, obviously, and then Doombringer's ultimate, all doing some major magic damage. So either way, I think that would be a nice pickup for him.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this Doom, too, is he's going to be really useful against heroes like Leshrack and Weaver, and even you could say against Chen and Invoker. I mean, all those targets are really good because obviously if you put it on Chen, you can stop Hand of God, you can stop the MP Tornado from Invoker, you could stop the just straight-up damage that Leshrack can do. Interesting note, he does skip the ultimate, so we are going to see him go for a Bloodstone, it looks like, in his item build, and then also go for this more mana-sustainable QW combo, picking up another tower.
I was going to say, this Leshrack's doing exactly what he needs to do this game. He's been maxing that Diabolic Edict, pushing towers very easily, and then right as his tower dies, he moves on to the next one. And I guarantee you, very soon, they're going to come down bottom, pressure this lane, and there's not a whole lot, unless they all group up. I mean, like, they could probably put up a defense if all five decided to come here, but if there's just 2 or 3 of them, I don't think they stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, none of the heroes on the Dire side really can clear creep waves that easily and try to stop something here in the bottom lane. It looks like Cold Snap will be put up on Bunk. Will he be able to get out? There are a ton of heroes here. Chen actually picks off the Witch Doctor by himself. A miss hook from Pudge, but the Tornado by Invoker will pick up that kill there as Mr. Outworld Destroyer falls to the ground. Wings not flapping hard enough.
Your wings don't beat. Oh, what was the quote?
My wings beat where your heart does not.
Well, he wasn't saying that. I can guarantee
Great.
that. He was like, "Get me out of here!"
Beat faster.
That gold. There's my throat. That gold difference now to 3,000 for the Radiant, and I mean it makes a lot of sense. 3 towers down, 5 hero kills. I don't care what your creep scores are. It's not gonna make a difference when the other team is just pushing you non-stop. And they also have that Chen, and his strengths are starting to show too with these 2 Centaur cons. I mean, how are they gonna stop this huge push that's coming out?
I really don't know, and I mean that's kind of what I was just starting to talk about before that little skirmish bottom. I mean they don't have anything to clear out creep wave. So all they have is this paralyzing cask that can bounce between the creeps and keep them stunned. But very smartly, the Radiant are just pushing as a team, realizing that the Dire has no answer to this. Looks like Anti-Mage is actually going to try and join the fight, but he might just get himself into trouble here. The Tornado knocks him up, takes him very low. The ultimate comes out by Outworld Destroyer. Is not enough to kill anybody. The Lich ultimate also comes out, but Invoker is able to pick up the first kill in this skirmish, taking out the Outworld Destroyer. So a bunch of big ultimates used there to no effect.
That's really unfortunate. Actually, I didn't see where the Lich Ult was used, but did it get its bounces off at least?
I just heard it go. I didn't actually see it,
I'm sure it didn't, and that's probably part of the problem, because if it did get its full effects off on some heroes, they'd probably be a lot lower right now. It's just unfortunate they couldn't make more use of that. Anti-Mage, that TP was definitely a little questionable, porting in when there was 2 Centaur cons right where he was TPing. Obviously, it was able for them to set up something on him, and he wasn't able to help at all. They're going to fall back here, but not without doing a ton of damage to that tier 2 tower. They're probably going to heal up and just look to punch something else. And at this juncture, actually, action here. Invoker might actually start getting caught here. They're going to look to see maybe an ultimate used by Anti-Mage. Not yet. Invoker does fall, so I guess he's going to save it for a rainy day. Witch Doctor does finish that streak, though, so he's going to maybe buy himself something nice.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it was the Maledict there that allowed him to pick up a kill. Oh, Outworld Destroyer tries to walk around for what reasons I'm not sure, and then just goes down to Leshrac, Pudge, and then, of course, the Weaver, who is there also, giving up another kill. Unfortunately, Pudge now looking to try and get a hook. Witch Doctor not moving at all. Will now just feed this Leshrac a little bit more. There's now no wards on the map whatsoever. Quite different from what we just saw. And, yeah, this is the problem. Especially when you're playing against heroes like Pudge, you really need to keep vision up to keep an eye on where he's trying to throw hooks from.
Yeah, that was probably not a good place to be AFK. I would have probably clicked towards the base to heal, but that's just me, I guess. It's looking unfortunate. It's interesting though to see Doombringer here. Which creep he decided to go with is Devour. It looks like he's got the crit chance and Pack Laser. I like that. I think that's the wolf creep, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, the Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, so
actually here in the middle lane looks like there's some initiation going on here. On Anti-Mage gets the EMP Tornado combo. Will not kill him, but the Dire team is just forced to run around and try and keep up with this Radiant team who are getting to farm the lanes, push them in. And if they want to, they can just walk away and suffer no consequence, really, being able to take the creep hills. Actually looks like Weaver's going to come up here and scout. Bonk may have noticed him walking through. Witch Doctor does not, however. He finally does, tries to put up the stun, but the Shibupi too strong, gets out. Lich actually gets called out by 2 of the enemy heroes. Bonk now in a lot of trouble. Will he go down? Yes, he tries to drop the ulti, drains some of Invoker's mana, but nothing more there. Kind of what we were talking about before. He knows the potential for that ultimate to do absolutely nothing. They're only able to drain the mana off 1 hero.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Nice trying the hook there. Witch Doctor's like, not this time. I've had that happen before. Gets away pretty safely. Actually, Doombringer does buy a Sacred Relic now, 15 minutes in, so that's actually pretty quick. If he can get a little more farm here, there'll be a Radiance up within under 20-minute mark. That should help a little bit, but still, they really need to coordinate their moves if they're going to have any kind of hope in stopping this push.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about that, but that is going to be one thing that they will have to try and slow down the creeps a little bit. Of course, the dot damage by Doombringer, as well as, of course, the Radiance burn when he looks to finish that item, so that will be there to slow down the creeps. But actually here in the middle lane, looks like Bonk will go down to Hook Rot, Invoker will pick up the last hit on that. just they don't really know where to go. I think a lot of them are just sort of sitting around, and there you saw Bonk was a little bit too far forward. They're not sure what to really do to answer this. And to be honest, from the picks, there really isn't much of an answer. This is a game where you could almost argue that just based off picks alone, the game put in a really hard situation to come back from.
Absolutely. Another good hook. Lich actually has 20 health. Doesn't get killed. Wow, amazing job. Good Chen ulti. Not necessarily... Well, maybe it saved his life. I'm not sure it doing some of this Maledict damage. But either way, Lich surviving 20 health. That's a...
Here in the top lane, I was watching a little skirmish between Anti-Mage and Leshrac that whole time while you were going through that. Pretty funny to watch. It looks like Terps really wants to continue this fight, but now there's been enough time for Invoker to come up, and the EMP Tornado combo will do plenty of damage. Leshrac will pick up that last hit after the Cold Snap was also applied to Anti-Mage. The power of being able to have all those different spells at your disposal as the Invoker, really showing through there. Looking to level up the Wex over Quas. Very interesting there.
Yeah, I'm not very super knowledgeable. I know we discussed, what his strengths are, but I guess he's really looking to, keep up that move and attack speed. Obviously, if you have those maxed out, he does get 21% more movement speed. You can actually see here, he is up to 418 movement speed, so that's pretty substantial.
Yeah, I mean, I seem to remember Bonk stating that, yeah, you do generally go for the Wex and then the Quas. Interesting, though, in a couple of professional games, actually, some people weren't even putting points in the Exorb. We do see that this Invoker does pick up the point in the E. He's now going to come out from the invisibility. Bonk tries to phase himself out to not die, but will get picked up by the Tornado and drop to his death. Lich now will get away, however, only losing one hero, but... there's just no vision. How are they supposed to know that, these heroes are lurking, like, right close by? One ward, two wards actually up in the top to defend their own jungle, but nothing out on the map to give them any kind of room to run. Leshrac using that Diabolic Edict in the middle lane. Looks like they will try and pick up yet another tower, extending their victory.
He has a Bloodstone with 7 charges already. So he's pretty much got infinite mana at this point. And that's kind of scary when you're facing off against him, because his cooldowns are relatively low. There's a ratings purchase, by the way, which is hopefully...
There's a hook from Pudge. He finally lands one into the base and will ult on the Lich, pick up a kill there. You can see he finally gets one of those. And yet they're just going to look to continue this push. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was done. Forever.
No, that's it. I don't want to tell you anymore.
I actually kind of forgot what I was saying, so it's okay.
That's good, because I forgot about something to go off on. Luckily, there's some more action here in this middle lane to try and keep the talks going. Pudge actually gets killed there, helped by Sandy's Eclipse and some tower hits, I do believe. Able to finish him off there right outside the base. And I see that the Dire can try and hold them off, but this Anti-Mage isn't really getting the farm he needs right now. He still hasn't finished the Vitality booster, what I was actually expecting him to get. Does not go for that, is nowhere near a big damage item or an item that will allow him to farm, so they're just not sitting good in this game, not even if it goes late.
Yeah, this goal difference is just absurd, and I mean, it's just unfortunate when you have such, I feel like, strong late game presence with their Doombringer, Anti-Mage, and Obsidian or Outworld Destroyer, pardon me. They would looks like they'd have a good chance, but they just had such a rough beginning, and those towers, like we said in this pushing meta, if you can get those towers pushed within the first 12-15 minutes, that puts you at a huge goal advantage. There's a few thousand just off the bat, and that split between 5 people is 600 gold. That's at least something, of value. I don't know where I'm going with that. You know what I mean, though. Like, it's going to help you for that item you're trying to build, and that's going to really be nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is like we saw the Geek Cowboy pick up Venomancer last game. That would have been a fantastic hero to have for this game to try and slow down those creep waves. But yeah, like you're saying, this is exactly why we don't see Lich. Actually, a hook landed on Obsidian Destroyer. He will go down yet again. And now Leshrac might actually be in danger here, getting Doom. And then, of course, the Witch Doctor ultimate as well. That will be enough damage to kill him. And now look to continue this on to Pudge. Level Death doing a ton of damage there. Pudge will deny himself, and in comes Invoker. He wants to try and take this a little bit further. He's going to be able to take out Witch Doctor with just the auto attacks. Now puts the Cold Snap on the Doombringer, lays out the EMP. Will he be able to get away? Yes, he's so quick with those Wex stacks, he's going to be able to get out just fine.
Yeah, he also decided to use his Drum of Endurance and Phase Boots at the same time. I don't even want to know what his move speed was at that second, because I'm sure it was ridiculous.
Absurd.
Probably over 9,000.
I would say in the ballpark of over 9,000, a good, plus or minus.
Speaking of things that are kind of absurd, Weaver finishes his Sacred Relic, so I guess trying to go for his Radiance now. Has no boots, but doesn't need them because of his Shibuki.
Yep.
Too strong with max movement speed there. Leshrac, he did lose one of his charges. He's down to 6 now. So.
Poor guy. I mean, that's the really nice thing, too, about the Bloodstone. Of course, it's the mana regeneration, which is huge. I mean, we can see Leshrac sitting at 14 with those 6 stacks on the Bloodstone and no other items to speak of whatsoever. Just getting a huge amount of regen from that. But, if the Dire team does look to try and take him down quickly, he's going to have the reduced death penalty time. He's going to lose less gold. He's going to have the chance of getting experience in the area after he's dead, and then he's going to heal one of his allies when he does finally go down. So, it's like you do want to take out that hero, but there's also somewhat of an advantage built into being taken out with that Bloodstone on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was the right choice just because of how much they're pushing and how little there is for the other team to do, except for the Doom. The Doom obviously is going to be the one thing that maybe gives them a chance to kill him in a team fight. So it'll be interesting to see how well they can use it. Actually,
good stun here.
Good
yes, a good AoE stun, and then of course the Tornado EMP combo. A missooked by Pudge, so close yet again. The Weaver ultimate was popped. They're just going to look to stand in front of this tower some more, doing a little bit more damage with the creeps. Another hook by Pudge does not hit anything. They're going to wait for more creeps to come in and then look to just keep up pressure on this tower. There's nothing that the Dire can do to stop it.
It is really unfortunate just because of how much they lack wave control. They can't clear anything out. They don't have a power shot. They don't have anything that gives control. Go ahead, you want to take the team fight?
Sure, Lich Ultimate dropped, trying to do as much damage as possible. Only gets 2 or 3 bounces. No real huge damage done. A lot of damage done to the Outworld Destroyer. No permanent damage as far as deaths are concerned, but just being able to do that little bit of damage means that they're going to be able to take this tower. That's one thing I was actually looking at right before that started. You want to look at the difference between the supports. Of course you have the Hand of God by Chen, but he also has Mechanism, so he can heal his team right back up if he needs to, whereas Lich doesn't have an item like that. They want to try and turn this around, the Dire that is, but it looks like Doom is going to be taken out. There's the Hand of God. Good channel by the Witch Doctor, but not enough damage to take out anyone. He will also go down. Sanity's Eclipse dropped. Again, will not do much there, and he will go down to the Leshrac, who picks up a double kill during that fight.
Ouch. I mean, that was kind of hard to watch. The Doombringer just ran in almost by himself, it looked like. He just put that ultimate down on Invoker and just tried to start auto-attacking, but he wasn't doing enough damage, and he's still really vulnerable. I mean, he didn't even finish his Vanguard, so his health pool's not really where he needs it to be able to run in like that, all crazy like. GGs are actually being called, and not really a surprise.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, the thing I really do like about this game is we actually kind of get to see why heroes like Lich fell off. Why you need to be able to pick up heroes that can stop creeps. I mean, just specifically. Just the power of Chen and Leshrac was enough. And, another thing, too, if you notice that you have a team like that, or you're in a position like this, wait a minute, we have heroes that are really good at pushing, do what you can, and if you're in these matchmaking situations, guys, let's group up really quick, let's get the Arcane Boots up, let's get the Mechanism up, and let's just, drive the point home like the Radiant team did here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm going with that same train of thought here. This is why heroes like Invoker, Chen, why they're banned a lot in the competitive scene. I mean, you can just see the immense power they have and how much of an impact they can really, put in this kind of gameplay. I mean, Chen was just pushing all day long. These tornadoes and cold snaps and EMPs have been just ridiculous. How much mana they've drained, how much CCing they've done. It's just been unbelievable. So yeah, it is really interesting to see these heroes that you don't normally get to see maybe in the competitive scene, and now you get to see their true strength, and it's been quite a ride.
It's really unfortunate to see the men or the Radiant at this point clear out a lane and then are just looking to try and pick up kills with pudge hooks. I don't like fountain diving at all in the first place, but this is a little excessive. Like, no point. But some people, what can you do? Hopefully the creeps are doing a good job. They realize, like, come on guys, let's finish this off. They look to kill off the towers surrounding the dire ancient, and hopefully that will help the heroes in the well, put them out of their misery, and let this game come to an end.
So what do you want to talk about troll-wise?
Troll-wise in this game, or just troll-wise in general?
Anything Dota 2 related.
I'm trying to look around. Let's see. Animage actually picks up a kill there on the Pudge, getting good ult. Here's a good Lich ult right there, doing a ton of damage. Our Destroyer ult now doing some damage as well. Animage looks to try and get out and do whatever he can here, but Invoker may get out, or will he? Yes, Chen ports him out back to base, keeping him safe and sound now, Chen. Getting himself into a little bit of danger.
Chenny boy.
There is no anti-mage ultimate, though, so I doubt Chen's going to fall, but it is a long way back to safety. Terps is going to be able to keep up this chase, going to be able to keep mana breaking, keep slow up. Here comes the slow from Lich and that one short. You get another kill. Come back!
Right
Turning point.
Easily. See, if they didn't go fishing for so long, they would have won the game.
There you go.
Now this gold chart's a huge dip back. Oh boy, never mind. You shouldn't
Dude, look at that hook.
It's just
look at that hook. Oh, that peak. It's coming down,
look
man.
at that. It's a slight concave.
If that line continues indefinitely, the Dire have a chance, I think.
Let me do some quick math. It looks like for another 45, 50 minutes.
Well,
Just
stall it up. I mean, Animage has almost finished that Battle Fury. Just saying. I mean,
just saying.
1,200 gold off, or no, and he's sitting on 700, so he's got 500 gold to go, and then he can start farming up a Storm. But the Dire are not interested in playing this game out anymore. Looks like they will allow their base to fall. This middle lane are going to go down. Yeah, but no, you're trying to find some trolling, but it looks like everybody actually. Oh, you're trolling, great. Everybody going pretty standard items.
No, Pudge is trolling, is what I said.
Pudge is trolling? Oh.
2 bottles just so he can go fishing.
Wow, that's pretty good. He probably even bought the bottle from the Dire shop. I would not be surprised.
In case maybe he's practicing for that Pudge Wars, that's going to come out, of course.
Oh, there you go. Well, I mean, yeah, he's going to be number 1. We'll be like, G House on Fire. We saw it first when he was training.
Wow, he is on fire. Or wicked sick. Whichever one you want to say.
It is pretty impressive how easy it is to hit hooks when you have to go fishing in a nice little circle. It's a little bit easier as it turns out.
Have you heard the expression, you can't shoot a fish in a barrel?
No, I have heard the expression, it's like shooting fish in a barrel, however.
That's the one I bet. So you know what? That was proving it right there. So, GG, right?
Yeah, no, like Bonk was saying, I take back the GG thing. Unfortunately, not ending the game on a good note, but thank you guys for joining us again for another Breakdown episode 11. Hope to see you guys next time as well.